What's going on, Bengals fans? Chris Daughtery here with our instant reaction to the Bengals' Week 5 loss to the Detroit Lions, 37-24, in a game that, was pretty much out of reach all the way from the beginning. Kind of, at the end of the game, it was garbage time points for the Bengals and really didn't mean anything, not in my opinion anyways. Jared Goff did not show up for the Lions today. He was incredible for them. Didn't have any turnovers for him. That's more than you could say about Jake Browning, who had 3 interceptions and 1 safety, but should have been 2 safeties at the end of the day. Just an embarrassing performance again by the Bengals for the 3rd week in a row. Good, the bad, the ugly. We will be here live on Bengals Breakdown for you guys for every single Bengals game. We got videos for you guys coming all year long, all season long. I'm sure we're going to be doing some Zac Taylor replacements and getting into some draft coverage here in just the next couple of weeks, if not this week here on the channel. So make sure you guys are subscribed, hit that sub button, and join the community here at Bengals Breakdown. All right, takeaway number 1. I am 1,000% with you guys on this one. The Bengals need to fire Zac Taylor right now. He needs to go. He needs to not even get back to the locker room before he gets fired. That's how I feel. I'm sure you guys feel pretty much the same way about that. Really, the thing that pissed me off the most about Zac Taylor today specifically was, obviously the game was out of reach pretty much by halftime. And, the Bengals, yeah, sure, they did fight back, claw back, score 21 points in the final, quarter of this ball game today. But really, what made me so irritated about Zac Taylor today was the fact that the Bengals did, claw back in this game and, they score a touchdown late and they had an opportunity. You go for 2, you make it a 10-point ball game. Zac Taylor just elects to, kick the extra point, make it an 11-point game. That makes absolutely 0 sense to me. That makes it still 2 touchdowns that you got to score. Instead of going down there, maybe you luckily, get the, a turnover. Maybe you get an onside kick. You go down there, score a touchdown. And it would only be a 3-point game at that point. I have 0 clue what Zac Taylor was thinking, going for that extra point instead of at least trying a 2-point conversion at the end of that game. To me, that means he gave up. And if you're a coach, not even just in the NFL, just in general, whether it's college, whether it's high school, if there's still 3 minutes on the clock and you have the opportunity, you have 2 timeouts, you have the 2-minute warning, to make it a 10-point game instead of an 11-point game where it's 2 touchdowns instead of a touchdown and a field goal. What are we doing there? Those are the little types of things that Zac Taylor just continuously, shows that he is not an NFL head coach. He is not, a good head coach. We threw the stat up at the beginning of the game in our watch party. With Joe Burrow, I think his winning percentage was like 53%. With Joe Burrow, without Joe Burrow, it's only 25%, his winning percentage. It's just, yeah, there you go, Billy, throwing it up. Good job finding that there. 57% winning percentage with Joe Burrow, 25% without Joe Burrow. Zac Taylor needs to go. I am done with his shenanigans. His offense is not good, and he just continues to throw 0 wrinkles into this offense. The only wrinkle that you had in this game in the offense was that flea flicker that ended up being a sack fumble. Yeah, you got it back, but either way, he changes 0 stuff up. We'll talk about the run game here in just a little bit, but I'm done with Zac Taylor. I'm sure you guys are as well. But let me know down at the pinned comment of today's video. I want to see all the whys in the world down inside the comment section because you guys should be just as pissed off as I am about this. Let me know. Would you fire Zac Taylor today? Type Y for yes or N for no down in the comment section of today's show. Number 2 takeaway, Jake Browning sucks. There's just no other way to put it. Jake Browning, I'm just, looking at today's stats. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head here. If I were to guess, I would just totally guess that Jake Browning probably has more picks than touchdowns at this point in the season. He is so freaking bad. Can you not complete a ball past 5 yards? Sure, you had the one big pass to Jamar Chase at the end of the game. When that ball was in the air, I was afraid he was going to overthrow Jamar Chase. That's what my confidence level was in Jake Browning. Going back to Zac Taylor, too, if he goes out here in the post-game press conference and the press conference coming up this week and says he has all the confidence in the world in Jake Browning, I might absolutely lose my mind. The fact that you did not bench Jake Browning in this game is ridiculous to me. I get it. Brett Rippon is your backup, and he might not be better. He might even be worse. He might have gone out there and thrown 3 more interceptions in the second half, but at least it would have been something different. At least somebody else would have been throwing interceptions, and we know, okay, maybe it's not just Jake Browning. Maybe it's just this offense, just them, being terrible. Zac Taylor not knowing how to put a game plan together for anybody out there. It's they need to do something about this quarterback position right now, whether it's a trade or what, because it's not Jake Browning. You are not going to be in playoff contention come January or December, when you hope to get Joe Burrow back. If it continues to trend this way, because you have Green Bay next week, you have a pretty tough schedule down the road. If it continues to trend this way, you're not even going to get Joe Burrow back. They're not even going to bring him back for the end of the season if you do not play yourself into playoff contention, and it damn sure ain't going to be with Jake Browning. We'll come back with some more reactions here in just a second. But if you guys want to be a winner today, make sure you check out omahasteaks.com. From everyday dinners and effortless entertainment to unforgettable gifts, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. Enjoy USDA-certified tender steaks, juicy burgers, cozy and convenient comfort meals, and so much more. And now, during their early Black Friday sale, you guys can get 50% off site-wide and an extra 20% off select favorites at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners here at Bengals Breakdown get an additional $35 off just by using promo code Bengals at checkout. Terms do apply, and you can see that website for details, but it's an additional $35 off already off of the 50% off site-wide. They've got a whole bunch of different bundles that you guys can choose from. They have steaks, they have chicken, they have hamburgers, they have brats. They've even got desserts and their very own seasonings as well. Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. The early Black Friday sale is the perfect time to shop for the best deals, plus orders placed before 6 p.m. Eastern Time ship on the exact same day. So if you need, some, gifts that you can send out for, Christmas time, getting one of these Omaha Steaks bundles would be a very, very good gift to send to the relatives for Christmas. So save big with Omaha Steaks and visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide and get an extra 20% off select favorites during their early Black Friday sale. And for you guys listening to Bengals Breakdown and watching our show today, you can get an additional $35 off just by using promo code Bengals at checkout. Terms do apply. See that website for details, but that's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and use promo code Bengals at checkout to get an additional $35 off. That link is going to be down in the comments section and the description of today's video. Takeaway number 3, I personally think it might just be time to tank at this point. I just really, from your offensive line to, I'll be honest, the defense, I don't know if they played good or not today because they were constantly out there on the field. You got some stops. You were able to stop the run at, times in this game today. The Lions only rushed for 118 yards in this game. Jared Goff did still have the 247 yards passing and 4 touchdowns in this game, but there's so many things wrong with this team. I just don't think, and it starts at the top. It starts with ownership, 1, and then it starts with your head coach, 2. Those things aren't going to be fixed, I don't think, at this point. There's too many problems on this Bengals team. Your running game sucks. You can't throw the ball downfield. Your defense is just inconsistent. I'll just leave it at that. You did finally start to blitz a little bit in this game, and it worked. It worked, but it might just be too little too late at this point. But still, even if you do tank and get a high draft pick, do you really trust Zac Taylor and Duke Tobin to hit on a high draft pick? I don't really know if I do or not. But at this point, I kind of think it's time to fire Zac Taylor, and it's time to tank. You can get a new coach in there to draft somebody and at least get, a different mind in there. We'll talk about some guys, but Joe Brady, probably my number 1 guy for the Bengals head coach spot next year. But like I said, last week, I don't necessarily think it's going to happen in 2026. I want to hear from you guys. How are you guys feeling right now? Because I'm pretty pissed after 3 straight weeks of just absolute abysmal, embarrassing football. Is the season over? Let me know what you guys think. Type Y for yes or N for no down in the comments section. Takeaway number 4, going a little bit more positive here. Jamar Chase is still great. That toe tap for a touchdown, that was just an incredible play. Just great body control by Ja'Marr Chase. That little, little hesitation route that he ran he was running wide ass open. He had 6 catches for 110 yards in this game, 2 touchdowns. I wanted to put something positive in our takeaways today. Maybe you can even say some fight at the end, but at the end of the day, I think the Lions just kind of got a little bit, they just didn't care at the end of the game. But I wanted to say something positive. Ja'Marr Chase, still really, really good. Takeaway number 5. I think it is to the point now where Samaje Perine needs to be running back 1. I've said this for 3 weeks now. Get Samaje Perine the ball more. Didn't necessarily want to go totally away from Chase Brown, but it's to the point now where Chase Brown's probably hurting you more than he is actually helping you. Samaje Perine had 4 carries for 27 yards today. That's 6.8 yards per carry. Every single week, it's 4 carries for Samaje Perine. He's averaging 6 yards per carry. Chase Brown, he got above 2 yards per carry today, but still, 8 carries for 27 yards. Samaje Perine had the same amount of yardage with half the amount of carries today. I don't understand why. Goes back to Zac Taylor again. It's insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. Get somebody else out there. I get it. Your offensive line sucks. They're horrible at run blocking, and they're horrible at pass blocking too. But look, Samaje Perine, just overall this season, he's averaging over 5 yards per carry. That's a whole lot more than what you're getting for Chase Brown. This was an embarrassing game. I'm sure you guys are just as mad, embarrassed, disappointed at this point as I am. I think there are too many things to fix on this Bengals team during the season. I don't think you're going to go out there and really make any trades. That's not really the Bengals' MO. Are you going to go out there and, trade for Jameis Winston? I don't really think so. Are you going to fire Zac Taylor when he's still got one more year left on his contract? I don't really think so. I think this ownership is just going to chalk this season probably, if I'm just totally guessing here, I think they're going to chalk it up to an L, with Joe Burrow being out. And, how are you expected to win games when you don't have your starting quarterback out there? Well, Zac Taylor's only winning 57% of his games with Joe Burrow out there, so I don't think he's really the answer either. It's just overall, another 3 weeks in a row, another terrible performance by this Bengals team. You go to Green Bay next week, I don't see that one really turning out in your favor either.